I'm sure you are shocked to learn that the average new car now costs thousands of dollars more than it did a few years ago. That's nearly triple just a few years ago. And used cars, they've seen price jumps of up to 50% in some markets. What if I told you these astronomical prices aren't just about inflation or chip shortages, but about a carefully orchestrated system designed to extract maximum profit from your wallet? Today we're diving into something that affects millions of persons: the current car market crisis. Whether you're in the market for a new vehicle or just trying to maintain your current one, you've likely felt the sting of today's automotive economy. This isn't just about high prices, it's about a fundamental shift in how cars are sold, marketed, and financed in America. The automotive industry has always had its quirks, but in recent years it's transformed into a playground where dealerships, manufacturers, and financial institutions hold all the cards, and consumers are left playing a game they're designed to lose. So, what exactly are we facing? First, there's the obvious skyrocketing prices. The average transaction price for new vehicles has hit record highs month after month. Used cars that should be depreciating are instead selling for more than their original purchase price in some cases, but the crisis goes deeper than sticker shock. We're seeing inventory manipulation creating artificial scarcity, dealer markups of $5,000, $10,000, even $20,000 above MSRP, predatory financing practices targeting vulnerable buyers, service and repair costs climbing to unprecedented levels, and manufacturers quietly removing features while raising prices. What makes this situation particularly troubling is how normalized it's become. Many consumers have resigned themselves to paying these inflated prices, assuming they have no choice. And that's exactly what the industry wants you to believe. To understand how we got here, we need to look at several converging factors. The semiconductor shortage that began during the pandemic created genuine supply problems. But what started as a legitimate constraint became an opportunity. Manufacturers realized they could produce fewer vehicles, focus on high-margin models, and make record profits despite selling fewer units. In 2019, the average profit per vehicle for major manufacturers was around $1,100. By 2023, that number had jumped to over $4,200. Think about that. They're making 4 times the profit on each vehicle. Does that sound like a company struggling with supply problems or one that's discovered a lucrative new business model? Remember when you could negotiate at a dealership? Those days are largely gone. With inventory tight, dealers now have the upper hand. Take it or leave it pricing has become standard. And many have added market adjustments, a fancy term for marking up prices above MSRP just because they can. What's particularly insidious is how dealers frame these markups as unavoidable consequences of market conditions rather than what they really are: pure profit grabs. Perhaps the most concerning trend is the move toward features as subscriptions. Manufacturers are now building cars with hardware already installed, then charging you monthly or annual fees to use functions that used to be standard. Heated seats? That'll be $18 a month. Remote start from your key fob? $15 monthly, please. These aren't cloud-based features that require ongoing server costs. They're physical components already in your car that are being software locked behind paywalls. The average new car loan has now stretched to nearly 70 months. That's almost 6 years. Longer terms mean lower monthly payments, making expensive vehicles seem more affordable. But these extended loans often come with higher interest rates and leave buyers underwater, owing more than the car is worth for years. And that's not even mentioning the explosion of lease deals designed to obscure the true cost of ownership while ensuring you'll be back in the showroom in 3 years, ready to start the cycle again. Here's what's really happening. The industry has engineered a perfect storm of consumer manipulation. They've created artificial scarcity while simultaneously convincing consumers that paying over sticker price is normal and necessary. They've shifted focus to high-margin SUVs and trucks while discontinuing more affordable models. And they've made the buying process so complex that most consumers can't effectively compare true costs. Look at this comparison. The 2024 model costs $8,000 more than the 2018 version of the same vehicle. Yet it has fewer standard features, requires subscriptions for functions that used to be included, and comes with less favorable financing terms. This isn't progress. It's a calculated strategy to extract more money from your pocket while delivering less value. And it works because most consumers shop based on monthly payment, not total cost. When you're focused on whether you can afford $599 a month, you're not thinking about whether the $45,000 SUV is actually worth $58,000 after interest and fees. So where does this leave us? First, awareness is power. Understanding these tactics helps you make better decisions. Always calculate the total cost of ownership, including interest, fees, and subscriptions. Be willing to walk away from bad deals. Sometimes no car is better than a financial trap. Consider certified pre-owned vehicles from 3 to 5 years ago, before many of these practices became widespread. Look into credit unions and pre-approved financing to avoid dealership finance office manipulation. Research which manufacturers are charging subscriptions for basic features and vote with your wallet. The car market crisis isn't going to resolve itself overnight. Manufacturers and dealers have discovered how profitable these new tactics are, and they won't abandon them willingly. But as consumers become more educated and more willing to reject these practices, we may start to see change. Remember, the auto industry ultimately depends on our willingness to participate in their game. By understanding the rules they've written, we can start rewriting them ourselves. Have you purchased a car recently? I'd love to hear about your experience in the comments below. Did you pay over MSRP? That's the manufacturer's suggested retail price. Were you surprised by subscription offers for features? Your stories help other viewers know what to expect. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe for more consumer advocacy content. This is Finance Inspector. Until then, drive safely and shop wisely. Thanks for watching.